In lesson 3, we're going to learn the two-handed legal move, an easier way than guess and check because these take a little bit of time to figure out what the A equals. Now, I like to ask the class to say this out loud chorally together to remind us what we're saying. On one side, I have 3 A's and a 7, and on the other side, I have 4 A's. And then when we go to set this up, what a legal move is you can take the exact same thing on both sides and you can remove it from the scale. And we talk about if I take the same thing off, is this scale still balanced? Will it tip? And like, no, this is okay. It's legal. And so what I ask students to do, lift them up and pause. And it's critical that they're doing this with two hands so that they know this has to be done at the same time. So I lift that up and I take it off the scale. And then I look, is there anything else I could take off? Well, I could take off another one. And so again, lift it in the air and pause, making sure you're using two hands, and then take it off the scale. And I notice that I can do it one more time. I can lift these with two hands, pause, lift it off the scale, and then take it off. And what's amazing now, the answer literally jumps out at you. The answer to this pawn must equal 7. A must equal 7 because I have 7 on both sides. And so we've solved this. A equals 7. Let's go ahead and look at problem 2. So in problem 2, again, we'll say this out loud as a class. 1B, on one side I have 1B and a 2, and 2 more B's. And on the other side, I have 1B and a 10. And so that's what we set up here. And so now we're looking, what can I take off of this scale? And I've only got one blue pawn here, so clearly I'm going to take that off. And it doesn't matter which other one they grab, as long as they're doing two hands and they grab the same thing in both hands. Now I can remove this from the scale. And then we're just again now going to do guess and check. So 2 and something must make 10. This has to equal 8. And so I can see that 4 and 4 is 8. And so I go 2 plus 4 is 6 plus 4 is 10. I would have 10 on both sides. And so I can see that B equals 4. All right, let's take a look at one more. In problem 3, I have on one side, I have 1C and 3 more C's. And on the other side, I have 1 C and another C and a 10. And so now I come up here and like, all right, what am I going to do with my two-handed legal move? This is something that's allowed. So let's see. I'll take this one off, take it off the scale, and I'll take this one off. And notice how it doesn't really matter which ones you're grabbing as long as you're doing it two-handed, one off of each side. And here it's really obvious to see what this is going to be. Both of these must equal 10, and we can see that our C equals 5. Now, let's take a look at, on the worksheet, the answer key shows these with drawings. And so if you have a high-level class, it doesn't take long to get into being able to draw these. And if you have classroom management issues where they're throwing pieces, it's really nice to get to the drawing stage as quick as you can. So what we're doing here is the same, except for putting them on a scale, they're going to draw them. So on one side, I have 3 A's, and they're going to draw these triangles. Notice how these are colored in. That's really critical because when we come up to the negative A's, they won't be colored in. So it's really important you get them to scribble these in. Doesn't have to be neat, but on one side, I have 3 A's and a 7, and the 7 has to be drawn in a box because once we get to negative numbers, we're going to draw them in circles. And the other side, I have 4 A's. And then we're going to do the two-handed move the exact same way, but how do you show taking them off the scale? And you can ask the students to be creative about this, but I like to use red. It's a little easier to see what the student's doing if I come check their work, but it can be done in pencil. And you draw these little arrows indicating you have taken those off the scale, and these have to be drawn at the same time. And then I look and like, okay, I guess I could do this 2 more times. I'm going to take those off, and then I'm going to take a third one off. Now, at this point, I can't take anything else off. And what we're going to do is ask them to redraw the scale when there's nothing else they can take off so that we can get a clearer picture what's on our scale to solve this with guess and check. And it's pretty easy because all that's left is a triangle on this side and a 7 here. And so we can clearly see that the answer is that A equals 7. And what I ask them to do is put a little number up here right by the triangle, what they think it equals. A equals 7. And so I see I have 7 on both sides. And I'm going to ask them as well to go on each side of the scale and write how much is here. This is our check. Is it working? Now, this one's pretty obvious. Doesn't seem like this is necessary. But I get them in the habit of going, well, I have 7 on both sides. So clearly my A must equal a 7. Let's go ahead and try a second one and see what this looks like. So on one side, I have a B and 2. And I have 2 more B's. And so they're just drawing these, right? The 2's in a square. The variable has to be drawn as a triangle and colored in. On the other side, I have 1 B and a 10. And they're just writing that number in a square. So now what can I take off with my 2 hands? And I'm going to choose to take off this one, and then it really won't matter which one of these I take off because I'm doing it at the same time. So I'm going to take that one off, and now nothing else can be taken off. And so here's where I'm going to redraw my scale. And so on this side, what I have left is a 2 and 2 triangles. And on the other side, I have a 10. So 2 plus 8 is going to equal 10, and so I can see that these are going to have to be 4s. And I have them write that on there and then go back and double check. Does this work? 4 and 4 is 8, and 2 more makes 10. And so I'll put a little 10 down here under the scale, and then I see I have 10 on the other side, and so, yep, this works. This works. And so I say, and here's where they're going to be tempted to say that your B equals 10. And like, nah, look, you wrote in here, your B equals 4. All right, let's take a look at one more, and that'll end up our lesson 3. All right, so I'm going to draw 1 C, and then I'm going to draw 3 more C's on this side. And on the other side, I'm going to draw 1 C, and I got to draw another C again, and then a 10. So now I do my two-handed moves at the same time. I'm going to take this one off and this one off. And they will be tempted to do it like this. Be careful that they're checking that this is on both sides taking off at the same time. And we see how simple this becomes using this method. It becomes really clear after this. What are we left with? Well, I'm left with 2 C's on this side, and on the other side, a 10. And so I can clearly see if those equal 10, those are each going to have to equal 5. And then so have them write that answer really small on the triangle, and we'll check. 5 and 5 makes 10. That's how much is on this side. And I look on the other side, and the other side I have 10. So now I know my answer is correct, that a C equals 5. And that ends lesson 3. Thank you.